Hello, 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 everybody, and how's it going out there in the internet world, wherever you are? Welcome, all heard. It is great to see all of you here now and in the future when you watch this on YouTube or whatever space devices you may have. This is, of course, Goldheart Gaming, and we here endeavor to bring you the most interesting and fun bits of gaming and tabletop roleplay as we can. I am your GM today, Pro Restarter, and tonight we will be exploring the void, the darkness and the horrors that lurk within the galaxy and the universe as a whole. We are playing Last Horizon Semblance. But before we begin all of that, there are, of course, a few things we would like to say first. This game and series will be running in 6 parts, and we are sponsored by Magehand Press, a dark matter campaign that is a rip-roaring futuristic campaign set against a mashup of sci-fi and fantasy influences, which lets you play D&D in space without learning a new system. So it's super easy and easy to digest. We are purely using SRD and Magehand Press content, so you can use all of this as you want. If you wish to make characters or adventures of your own, feel free to do so. Magehand Press also has a Kickstarter going on right now, which is for a complete box set to get you started playing sci-fi adventures. We're going to do our best to show you all the fun you can have in space and what content Magehand Press can provide you. A link to their Kickstarter should now be in chat. And currently going on right now is a 100K goal called 100 to Oni. It is a print and play campaign, a full mecha campaign in which you play hotshot Lakshai pilots battling a new threat which is spreading throughout the galactic war zone. Think anime mecha. It's amazing, and it's one of the reasons I adore this system. Writing on that is a whole load of awesome and creative people, so be sure to check that out. We are also sponsored by, I'm gonna just butcher the name here, Vaz 3D. That is VZ 3D Works, all one word, for 3D printed TTRPG props, perfect for every table from the Mythic Mug collection to the Fates End Dice Towers. Using our affiliate link, you will get a 12% off in checkout, which you can only find here on this channel with the link now in chat. And of course, there are other ways that you can interact with the stream. We have a number of donation goals. So if you're watching this live on Twitch, you can scroll down now to the informational section and see a panel, all of that. I will read off some of the fun little tiers and what you can get. There is the thank you tier, which is just $1. $5 is the hydrate in space, making sure we all hydrate, because that is the most important thing whenever you're doing tabletop, especially in this kinds of scenarios. We have $10, which is medic, which lets you give a player a potion, because of course I'm going to be giving them all the drama and all of the dangerous situations that go with that. $15 is favored by the Force. Use the Force crew. Give a blessing upon a crew member and enhance them. 25 is a phaser set to kill. Take no prisoners, auto crits for a crew member of your choice. And of course, the God tier, $50. Glitch in the Matrix. Everything goes berserk, but of course, according to the GM's plan and your influence, of course. Something unexpected will happen, things will shift, and that will be a episode delay, but trust me, I'll be putting all of my conniving and fun little tricks in there for the players. They're not victims, they're here voluntarily. It's fine. But without further ado, why don't we just get right into it? So, we begin. And let us set the mood here so we can get a good feeling, shall we? So, the camera slowly, small chunks of debris in space. As the camera gets closer, we see a body floating. And as we get closer still, we see the glass helmet broken, shards floating next to them. And as we see the once female face that has dark blue tech-line tattoos on her cheekbones, we see their eyes shoot open, but they are fully black and cold, like the vacuum of space. The body jolts and flails, quickly turning into a husk, a lifeless mimic of undeath, think space zombie. As they thrash about, they hit a data pad floating next to them, and it starts playing. Is this it? I have to admit it. I didn't think it would end this way. It doesn't matter how small it you are. I guess this is my tell-all story. It all started on that blasted day. This is how we lost our horizon. My name is... And that's where the camera goes black. On the screen we see, fading, the title. Lost Horizon Semblance. As the screen glitches and fades into some unknown area in space, we see the year is 1380, galactic year. We hear deep thrumming as engines echo out in the vast expanse that is the black. We see fighter ships flying by, S-wings, sleek and black. We see the mass of metal rotating behind the engine as the blue engines of dark matter shoot out of it. Ebbing and flowing through these asteroid fields, we see 4 of them. 4 of you. And now, as you are all in your cockpits, chasing orbital shift, a dastardly known pirate organization that has been haunting this sector for far too long. You're out there trying to stop them, get rid of them, and survive to tell the tale. Let's roll initiative. Okay. Starting off with a combat. I like it. Super fun, super fun. As your S-wings fly into the clearing, we see a massive asteroid field in front of you. You had scans of enemy ships here, but with all the debris and some kind of disturbance, you've lost any kind of technical location that they were in. You're going to have to find these people and take them out. Now, you're never alone in space. You have your commanding officer, your military officer, Magehand. She's on the comms, willing to help you and give you advice, but of course you're out here alone in the black. And why don't we let, I think it's Hunter go first and roll 20. I'm not sure who that is.
It's Kai. Hi.
It's Kai, hey.
Yeah, I changed my name since then. It's all right.
It's
all
okay.
right. Do I spot any enemy ships right now?
In front of you, no, you just see moving asteroid field. They're in there somewhere. It's going to be dangerous to find them.
Okay. I'd like to do, as silly as it is, evasive maneuvers, simply to move around the asteroids as I attempt to spot my quarry.
All right, yeah, as you move forward and you do your evasive maneuvers, roll me a piloting check with advantage to make sure that you
Hey.
can get around this deadly debris.
All right. Oh. Piloting. 13.
Okay, you have a 13. You can easily move yourself. Where do you go to search for anyone? And please describe what it looks like as you do.
I'm a little risky. I'm going to go ahead of everybody. Straightforward. And kind of trail around the outside of a large asteroid near me and hug it for a while. I am not cautious with my ship.
You don't really, you're not one of those that are too cautious with scratching the paintwork.
Nah, it's just paint.
Okay. So as you take evasive maneuvers and you're kind of going through to search for the enemy, I'll have you roll me a scan. So roll me a quick check there for that.
Let me see. For scan, what should I be rolling for scan?
So in order to kind of scan, you can also send out probes as well if you wish. So they're like remote drones that you can control. So give me a perception check for now.
Sure thing. Oh, that's still on advantage. So just take the 8 for that one, and I'll toggle back to normal.
Okay, as you're kind of ducking and diving through the asteroid field, trying to find anyone who could possibly be a target, your scans come up short. Whatever radiation these rocks are giving off are messing with your devices. And all you're getting back is glitch. Next up, was it an action to do your evasive maneuvers or a bonus action?
It's going to be an action for my evasive maneuvers.
Okay. Then as you kind of ready yourself and you do that, Elizabeth, what are you doing as you see your pilot companion head off?
Knowing that Esme is a bit of a risk taker, I think I'll just follow suit and skirt around the perimeter, hoping to catch anyone that sees them first unawares.
All right. Show me on the map where you go, and then I can let you know. And since you're kind of scanning about as well, run me a perception check.
Perception. There we are.
See, what did you get here? A 12.
And I'd like to move around this side, if possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's for us. Yours is here. Cool. Yeah. As you shoot down, we see the engines roar. We see the ether shoot out as the spiraling disc kind of continues on behind your ship, and as the camera kind of goes past your screen, the glass on top of the cockpit, you look around, and on your machines as well is just continuing that static, that strange static that seems to be just interfering completely. What do? You don't see anything, but you are pretty gridlocked.
I'll just keep a low profile until something presents itself.
Okay, you trying to like stay hidden behind like the asteroids and make sure like if they can't see you and you can't see them, you're safe.
Yes, I'm gonna hug the space debris.
Okay, yeah, run me a stealth check. And with a crit, you easily float in and keep your pace with the kind of debris that is moving around continuously, not letting it affect your ship whatsoever. And as we see you kind of twist and turn your entire ship to kind of keep the rotation and momentum, we see you, Fuase. What are you doing?
Unmuting myself after,
Mm-hmm.
after that, though. Noticing that everybody is being very stealthy, very elusive, trying to, keep the element of surprise. And I'm so bored. Oh. And I So it's just an asteroid. The way that it was described is more of an asteroid belt, and there's space debris everywhere.
So yeah, there is like a whole like astro kind of field and space debris everywhere.
I know everyone's hugging the thing. I would like to pick a piece of mobile debris that is moving towards where we need to go and do match speed and just like stay with it. Just go, that one's moving, I'm moving, I'm moving.
Okay, yeah. So you're kind of also trying to be stealthy at the same time as well.
Yes, so we'll roll yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's stealth. It's a pretty simple maneuver. You're not trying to be too flashy with it.
Right.
And what did you get? It's not showing up for me.
Oh, I'm reading it right. 14? Why is
14?
it?
Yeah, sorry, it's not coming through. But with a 14, you easily match the speed of just the rotating clump of rocks, and what looks to be what we can see would almost be like hubcaps and other kind of metals. There's like a cup at some point that says, "Come to Jonathan Jones for the best chicken in town." For some reason, that's there, but but as you kind of rotate on, we see that, and as this happens, we will see the enemy ships kind of coming out of the debris. We see them completely black ship, hard, jagged edges. We see just the weapons rotating. We see kind of a vapor trail as the blasters are getting ready to fire off. And as one has their sights, one will fire towards as it comes out of hiding, and one suddenly appears in front of you, Esme, as the ship turns around and fire. This green laser shoots towards you. And it is going to fire with a 22 to hit and a 9 damage, as 9 mega damage, as the lasers shoot out from the pulse cannon, one large thud after the other as they shoot past the debris and move straight towards you. Hits you right on the broadside as it takes its maneuvers going around back into the dogfight. As this laser debris hits you, another one shoots out towards where you are hiding, Elsbeth. And they're going to try and scan, as they did have a reading on someone not too long ago, but now they seem to have vanished. And they're going to try and find you. So, boop. But with that, they don't. They just kind of come out into the clearing, searching for you, looking for you, and they seem to go right past you. You see this, not even using any of your equipment. You see them with the naked eye as they fly right past your rotating ship. The other one who is in the area seems to not be showing themselves, but we see them on the screen just slowly rotating through the other debris. Esme, roll me a perception check. Oof. With that too, with you currently being distracted as you're being pelted with laser cannon fire, you don't see the other ship coming straight for you out of the debris field and ready to attack as well. So they're going to shoot their post cannons towards you with a 16. I believe that hits, and a 9. Does it not hit?
It might not, because I took evasive maneuvers, so I get to add my dexterity modifier to my AC.
You do, yes.
Which actually still just makes it 16, so it still hits
No.
them.
But good to know.
It was worth saying.
As you see this other ship coming towards you, you push down and your ship goes down and you go into a barrel roll, but this enemy ship matches you stunt for stunt, and as you're dipping and diving, laser cannon fire going past you, one hits you and you have to buckle out of it. The G-force kind of whips your neck back and you're now flying straight, but now you have two on you. And it is your go.
That's good because my ship has 4 hit points left.
Oof, nice.
I'm gonna throttle it. Let's go. I don't see a mechanic for pushing the engine, except for perhaps match speed.
That's for like when you're trying to kind of follow or kind of match their speed. If you're trying to, what's your goal?
My goal is to use the asteroids around me to my advantage and send one of them into it. I just want to make them kiss.
Okay. They're definitely going to pursue you in this because that's what they're trying to do. I think for this maneuver, because you're trying to be like a hotshot pilot, I think give me a pilot check and we'll see how that goes.
All right. Piloting. 18. 18,
yeah. So I'll give them a piloting check and see if they can get around you as well. So let's do that. So pilot number 1, as he tries to fly around. Oof. So one of them you completely destroy in an asteroid kind of field. How do you do it? The other one gets away.
I keep doing sort of the slingshot around different asteroids and goading them into following me.
Oof.
And then do a hard turn into the crack of an asteroid and come out the other side. They go into this ridge. The other one doesn't fall for it. It seems logical that they don't. It's fine. I'm good. If my ship gets destroyed, I have a life suit and space. It'll last for a while.
Yeah, just get sent out that beacon. You're fine. People live in space, right?
People live in space all the time, I think.
Yeah, it's a common thing. So as we see you bend around this kind of asteroid belt, we see this ship of yours kind of shoot out the side as the camera kind of stays level. We see the other ship, and then as the last one tries to make it round, we just see an explosion and fire and debris lands onto it. And as that happens, and you see this, Elsbeth, from your sensors, you've just been shot at. What do you do?
I don't appreciate being peppered as whoever shot me in my sights.
Yes, yes, they are.
I would like to let loose with my railgun.
Do it, yeah. Also, if you have, so for your class, if you are able to do multiple attacks with your short-based class, you can do multiple attacks with your ship.
What would I be rolling for that hit?
So if you look on your ship, the S-Wing, you should see a button to the side that says actions. You should see pulse cannon. So right on top on the folders, it's got PS ships. I can do this and everyone should see it.
I must be clicking the wrong thing. I'm not sure I see it.
Are you on S-Wing?
I'm on my ship.
No,
I just clicked on mine.
No. So if you go to where your character sheet is in that drop-down section, you should
gotcha.
You should be able to see where the SPS ship is.
No, I'm not. I saw it a second ago.
It's okay. I'll do it for now, and then we can kind of look for it as we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's all right. But I always have the GM roll for themselves because you crit. apparently. And you got a 21 damage. So tell me how you blow this bird out of the sky.
I was hoping that Esme would have left something for me, so I was just quietly inching around the space debris, very Jaws style, but bigger and in space. And then I'm startled when I feel that blow, so I think I just whip my ship around and hit the pew pew button.
You do. We see you kind of on the actual kind of steering apparatus. You flick the button, and we see the post cannon glow as an energy bolt just shoots out. And as the enemy ship is trying to duck and weave through this debris, you just catch it expertly, threading the needle through all of this space rock, and it just explodes completely. And anything else you'd wish to do?
I think I'll duck back in behind the space debris. I have pretty good range, so maybe I'll just sit pretty and snipe.
All right. You do that, and you easily see the ship following Esme, trying to blow them out of the sky. Fuasi, you see this as Esme and this enemy ship run this dog fight. You see Esme's ship is starting to completely smoke, and you see a part of the wing is destroyed. Their ship does not look good. What do you do? Fuasa, what do you do? Esme's ship looks completely
I started
destroyed.
talking and then realized I was muted. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I have the veteran dogfighter feat, so if I can see the ship, I can know how many guns it has, how many people are on it, where its weak spots are. I would like to do that, and then I would like to ram the crap out of it in its weakest point.
We do, yeah. We see on like your on the glass where you kind of have the cockpit, we see this hood pop up, and we see the enemy ship is just gets scanned, and a 3D print kind of comes up, and we see this red marks, and it tells you everything about it. You see that it is a class just like yours. It is one pilot. There's no one else in it. The weapon does basically for mechanical purposes, it does 3d6 damage, can only fire once, and doesn't have any kind of special maneuver capabilities. Its weakest point will most likely be its engines.
Okay. There was another thing that I can do for that. I think it was use one of the. Oh, snuff. Sorry, I accidentally dropped the whole thing in. No. I guess now everybody can. Because I want to basically like slap it with my ship, just kind of just move it out the way.
Are you trying to ram it? There's actually a ramming thing for that. Yeah.
I know there's an attack that says ram. I would like to do that attack, but I'm not. I think this lets me do that as a bonus action. So if I can just like double hit it, I would like that.
Go for ramming speed.
Awesome. Let me just pull my character sheet back up so I can do my attack. All right. It's not equipment. It would be the ship. How are we doing the attacks for the ship?
So if you're just doing kind of the ramming speed there, your ship and the target take 2d10 mega damage, bludgeoning. Larger ships do more, so you're just ramming into it. I'll say that as you do, I will just have you kind of roll a piloting check to see if you can kind of catch up, because they're currently being thrown about with Esme.
Piloting check. Oh, this would be so much easier if I actually had my glasses on. Oh, why can I not see it on this sheet?
It could be on the small square right below skills.
Small square right below skills. I see. What? see me close to the to the screen because I actually really can't see him.
That's all right. Let me have a look. So if you just roll me your dexterity, that'd be fine. Because it's just your dexterity, and if you're trained in it, then you'll have extra for it. So give me your dexterity. I believe is the skill that is based on it. Ooh, 3 and not 1.
Oh no, I didn't see what I had rolled yet. Oh, oh no.
So as this ship is is trailing Esme, and they're both strafing and trying to catch each other. Blast of cannon fire is coming out. You can clearly see where there's an opening, and you gun it and you shoot right for it. But what you wasn't expecting is that they break off suddenly, and then they dip around an asteroid belt, and as you try and follow them, they quickly take off their engines and they fly backwards past you. As you keep going, another large asteroid field kind of comes into view, and you are stuck into that. You're going to take some damage on your ship because of this, because you were trying to ram. So I'll just have you roll 1d10 instead of 2d10. Take 4 mega damage as your ship collides into these big chunks of rocks. It kind of twirls a bit before you get it under control, but you take that. As this happens, that one's gone. This one comes back around for you, Esme, as you think that it's completely gone, and you see just sparks, and you can kind of see on your monitor that your friend's ship, Fuesi, is damaged. But before you get a chance to react, you see the enemy ship coming up towards you, and they're about to fire on you. Is your Evasive Maneuvers still in effect?
No,
Okay.
that was a last turn thing.
Okay. This one is going to set phases to murder. But misses. Shoots out and shoots a number of asteroid belts. Not asteroid belts, but asteroid kind of clutter. We see the rocks explode. They hit your screen, but no damage is kind of done. And they just kind of trail after you. What do you do?
Something dumb.
Do it.
Sweet. All right. So I would like to pursue them, and I would like to use my bonus action to like don my armor, and I would like to eject myself onto their ship with my laser sword. And that'll probably be my whole turn. But I'm gonna cut their ship open.
Okay.
And take them out of it.
Nice. Okay, that's that's super that's super good. I like it. Yeah.
Let me know if you'd like me to like roll anything to make sure I get
mean,
on their ship.
you know, kind of. I think that's gonna happen. I don't know. So I would like you to roll. So you can easily eject yourself. You shoot out. I think what's gonna be done for this, and you have. I remember correctly from doing character creation, you have like a 0G training.
Well, kind of. I have an experimental frame. I've got like, I've got magnet boots.
Okay, so at least when you get close, you can cling on. Yeah. It's not like you're clinging on for dear life. So then I think what we're going to do here is. Oh, I think, yeah, because I think this is going to be a piloting check to see if you can position yourself where you know the G-force is going to whiplash you back enough where you can kind of catch on. So it's still going to be piloting. I think with advantage, though.
Yay. Okay. I like advantage because I don't roll well a lot of the time. Piloting. 17?
17. Yeah, that's enough. You're on the ship and you're trying to just describe this to me. I think you need to.
Okay. So so I follow them and I zip ahead of them. And then I just open up my ship after I make it do like another barrel roll, and so the immediate like pressurization shoots me out of it, and at the same time my frame starts coming out, like the backpack that I wear puts a helmet on me and then starts strapping to my body as I take out this sword and I land on the chassis of their ship with like this sound.
Nice. You see the person in the cockpit like, what? And they start trying to shake you off.
This is fine.
Everything is fine. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, you know this is it's going to be dangerous. You know, most likely you're not going to be able to kind of cut through it because it's a hull of a ship. But what you know you're going to have to do is most likely pluck up some panels and try and hotwire this car.
Yeah, it's like I'm a gadgeteer or something.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like
This
you're
is
trying to
fine.
just hotwire a moving car in space.
Fine.
As this is happening, Elsbeth, you see this crazy maneuver. The target of your post cannons is now occupied with a friendly on board. What do you do?
I take a couple of seconds to process what I'm seeing. And then, given that this target is no longer viable, I think I want to start whipping around towards their back line, if possible. See if I can catch anyone before they try to blow Esme out of the space sky.
Okay, yeah. You're trying to match speeds, so that's gonna be a check here. So I'll have you. Speed. Yeah, so that's just your action, right? As you're matching their speed, which is completely fine for you to do.
Yes.
So yeah, you do that, and you see Esme just trying to buckle in. Fuasa, what do you do? And just so you know, you are able to target any kind of systems on board or like the engines. So if you want to like target their life support, you could do that as well.
Okay. With the targeted attack. What are they near anything?
Yeah, you're all in a cluster of like just debris.
I mean, like what's directly next to the enemy ship that I think this isn't the one that Esme is currently trying to can open, right?
No, it's the only ship that's left. So they're on top of this ship, and there's
Okay, so
those
maybe I
rocks
won't.
floating everywhere.
I thought there was at least one other ship, so that I didn't have to deal with that part. Half of me is like shoot the ship. The other half is like pick up Esme.
Yeah, Commander, what do you do?
It's my nightmare.
It's all on me.
Yeah, okay. So I am going to target their engines specifically, like like their thrusters. I don't want them to be able to move anymore.
Yeah, you can target their engine. Check out their propulsion system.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so when you make a targeted attack, disable one of the systems. So make an attack targeting the system with disadvantage. On a hit, you deal damage directly to the system of your choice. So just run me the attack with disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, only like all the systems and all those things only have 10 mega hit points. So you only have to do 10 or more damage to do it.
All right.
I believe.
Somebody believe. Everybody believe in me. All right, that was with disadvantage.
Mhm.
And... See, this is what the problem was last time. I don't necessarily know what I'm rolling, and there's nothing in that folder for the 2 ships.
It should be in there. You should be able to see it. I don't know why it's not coming up.
And it just says bio and info for me, and I have no other tabs to pick.
Try now.
Ah,
It's
here they
weird.
go. Yay! I'm in the S-wing or the hummingbird.
The S-wing.
Okay, wanted to make sure I clicked open the right one. And
That is very
targeted
good.
attack, and that's my pulse cannon. Can I use
Yes.
disadvantage here, or do I just roll twice?
Yeah, there's a toggle button on the top left.
Ah, here it is. Thank you.
No
Yes.
worries.
All right, guys. Yeah, go back to that believing thing. Here we go.
I believe
Should we have believe?
that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, describe how you take out these engines and not hit as me.
Right, and not hit as me. Okay, so the way it goes is I take the ship and maneuver it over, and I'm like targeting the system, and then I look up and realize there's just like a little, like they land on the ship, and I watch it happen. I'm a little bit like Elizabeth, and just kind of staring, going, okay, so that did actually happen. Then I target one of the asteroids next to it so that does all the damage to knock out everything and not shoot the ship itself, so that it doesn't shoot as me off into space.
Ah!
Right, it just suddenly stops, but their momentum keeps going.
I mean, the review is coming
Do we have
up.
comms? Do we have comms that are connected to each other?
Definitely.
Just, why are you on the ship?
Good news, Captain. My exosuit works.
That is good news.
I thought it might not for a second, but it works.
Why
I'm going to
did you-
manually override this window now. Thunk.
Okay.
Ow.
Ow.
Mhm.
Can I just move my ship over there? Just
You
just
did.
grumbles in space as the ship just goes over to them.
We do. We see you kind of like ducking and diving through asteroid
Just-
fields,
just-
but your face is just like, I'm annoyed and frustrated.
It's just this face the whole time. Just
I'm gonna pull this whole combat around.
I will turn this entire combat around.
Is that your action?
Yeah, to move over to them. So I guess there's a ship near them
Mm-hmm.
for backup and such.
For the backup. Nice. I mean, it's their go. They can't do any cool maneuvers because their engine's broken.
Yeah, can't do nothing.
So they're going to and they're still going they're still shooting forward because momentum in space. So they're just twisting and turning and trying to kind of fling Esme off. So Esme, as they're kind of twisting and turning, I'm gonna have you roll a dex save with advantage because of your mag boots. DC 10. Oh, you crit. Nice. So the ship starts flipping around, and as it starts flipping around, you feel the G-force just kind of ringing out. You maybe feel a bit queasy. You kind of buckle down, but then we see the glow of your mag boots kicking. We just kind of hear the and we see them just kind of chunk in, kind of bending the metal a bit, and you just stick on. And we see the person keep looking back, but as you're flipping through space, and then you finally level out, what do you do? Esme, you did.
Yep. It seems like you really want to shoot the ship into comms. Is my position displeasing you, Captain?
The fact that you're free floating in space is what's displeasing me.
Fair enough. Esme will do a kick and then magnet boots in the other direction and then just stick to captain's ship.
Okay, wee.
Yep. So I'm sitting there and I just hear a chunk. Esme, where are you?
I'm on your ship now. This is better, isn't it?
It is. Actually, it is. Because now at least I know where you are and can control where you go. Did you open the thing?
The
Did
ship?
you actually get it open?
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't have engines anymore, so it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. We have to bring it in now, technically. Do I have like a little hook? Can I hook to the other ship?
We're gonna space tow this enemy ship.
Esme, if you want to have fun, take the chain and go magnet boot back down to the ship, and then you can be the hitch.
Okay.
Off-brand repair service.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Manually tow this enemy ship. It's all right. It's all good. I'm a gadgeteer. I can attach it. I've got I've got some tools for it.
Okay. So for the process, I love your creative thinking. So I think for the whole process, I'm gonna have you make 2 rolls then. So it's gonna be Esme. So run me a dex with help from Fuasa. So with advantage.
Okay. And just a regular dexterity check.
Yeah, a dex save, sorry.
Oh, dex save. Oh, well, I rolled 2 natural ones. This is great.
Okay. So you jump off. You're like, I'm gonna attach this imbecile real quick. I'm gonna do it. And then an asteroid just hits you, and we see you floating away.
No! My ship have magnets. I would like to magnet them back to the ship. This tri-beam, I would like to tractor beam them to my ship.
So as this is happening, that was kind of like the help action.
Well, I know you don't.
I guess. We hear with this stunt, we as the viewer hear just a simulation terminated as we see the entire scape just turn into what looks to be like large kind of squares, and they light up and dissipate, and as they dissipate we all kind of see you in these like large kind of circled field where like this whole combat simulation was happening, and you can all hear outside the dome the military commanding officer just being, "What the hell was that maneuver? Get out of my way, Jemison! Fix something, why don't you? I don't know what's going on with these people." And we see walking towards you in all of a huff, all gruff, is the chief military officer, Menhet, pronouns she, her. She is all things military focused. She always commands respect, and she's always hard on everyone. And she walks over to your dome. The dome dissipates in this kind of light reflecting glow, and she walks over to you, Esme, and just goes, "What was that exactly? Do you think that doing that is somehow... I can't even... the fact that you made it the first time was... we've talked about this," and they just keep going on and on.
The ship is... Ma'am, the ship is very hard to move. It lacks elegance.
and we see this dark-skinned, kind of black, kind of Kimrod-haired half-elf, and they just look at you, and then they put their hand in their face. Right, the ship lacked elegance. Right, that was it. And then their head whips towards you, Fawasi, and they just say, "You're in command. Take responsibility." And they whip around. You're all dismissed. And they start walking off. You see the other people like looking at Menhet as they walk away. Some of them just give you like a thumbs up, like, yeah, that was cool. You see Jensen just being like, that was really good, yeah. Before he puts on his kind of a red shirt.
No.
And you were just left there, kind of being like told off, but then also kind of praised by the other crew.
They just like smiles at everybody. They're like, yeah, it was cool. We did make it out, but then it's like they turn around to the other two and they know the face is just like, we need to talk. We can't do fun stuff in the simulation booth. Save the fun stuff for in the field.
But I'd like to do fun stuff in the simulation booth and in the field.
We all want to do fun stuff in the simulation booth and in the field, but we can't when other people are watching. I don't get caught. The important rule here is to not get caught. Say it with me now. Don't get caught.
Don't get caught.
Just looks at Elizabeth.
If I get caught, I get caught. We should do the fun stuff in the simulation so we are ready to do it in the field.
Well, then fine. I will follow our dear captain's orders and take responsibility. Only do fun stuff. Go hard or go home.
Jensen's just like, yeah! And he drops a bunch of beakers.
Wait, Jensen, why are you still here?
Oh, right! Runs to the door, wait for it to open, runs out.
Okay. So, how could we have done that so that it could have had better elegance than...
Well, the thing is, I've been working on this frame suit for a long time. It is finally coming together functionally. And it is so I can act as I have been trained to fight. Learning a new system for a ship is very difficult for me.
So you just go the entire ship and go fight it yourself?
Yes.
The only way that works is if there is somebody actively behind you.
Yes.
You're going to be the weapon. Somebody has to shoot you, and you cannot shoot yourself. Don't overanalyze it. Don't overanalyze it.
We could encase you into one of the torpedoes and just fire you straight at the other ship next time.
Or
I kind of did that.
Without a buddy.
I only built a frame suit for myself. It would take me several weeks, months, to build a new one. This one's mostly made of recycled bits, like cans.
Wait, what recycled bits? Where did you get the recycled bits?
From the cafeteria.
Okay.
And some scrap.
We'll get you better stuff. If you're going to make a suit and we're going to do this, then we'll get you good things.
Oh.
I'll look into it and I can put an order in for it. The last thing I want you to do is to fly yourself out there and then the suit doesn't work as me.
Oh.
Only with a buddy. There has to be somebody there with you. Somebody with at least a ship to catch you.
I have this AI that I've been developing also, and if I can figure out a way to move it into the ship, I might be able to call the ship to me.
Look into it and bring your findings to me. And as for you, and I turn to Elizabeth, is there any specific reason why I was the only one trying to stop that?
you seem to have the situation handled, and in an actual combat situation, there's a high chance that there would be other ships trying to gun you down. I was establishing a perimeter, but if you'd like, the next time you decide to do something like that, I can be more hands-off and let you be blown into the void.
I mean, everybody likes options, but let's stick with the first. We'll meet back up later so that we can have fun simulations. We'll try that again on purpose this time and work it out. Deal?
Are you saying we're allowed to do on-purpose shenanigans?
I'm saying you're allowed to do on-purpose shenanigans, but only when I'm around.
Okay.
Or I'm not around and there's no way for it to get back to me.
Okay. I shouldn't agree to that. No, I would never do that.
As you the ensigns, he keeps sneaking them in. He's not allowed. he keeps confiscating them.
Right? And I'm just like, and then I just pull out another one. Take them out.
It's got like ensign's name when it goes, please not eat. Ensigns.
Oh no.
As this happens, the light comes on, and we see a familiar face kind of walk in. About 5'7", looks to be a kind of Korean female. You see Dr. Etsuko, the onboard doctor. We see her with her small glasses, her kind of data tattoo that is a line down her face. And as she kind of walks in and everyone's kind of simulation suit dissipates, we see what you all kind of look like without those kind of helmets shining. And as the camera winds around, we hear her say, "Is everyone all right? Does everyone feel okay? Any nausea?" And as she proclaims that, the camera kind of flips around to you, going from 1 to 1. As you enter, and I'll just kind of say on screen, Esme, why don't you describe what you look like as the camera kind of hits on you?
Sure. Esme is about 5'6", with whitish silver hair. They use they them pronouns. They wear this very plain shirt and patchwork leather jumpsuit of many different types of leather. A lot of it is black, gray, purple, blue, and then some that looks a bit like holographic, like a synth leather. They have a fine scar running down the side of their face, and they like to wear colorful eyeshadow.
Nice. And as we see Etsuko kind of coming up to you, just kind of making sure you're all right. The camera kind of pans around to Fuase. Muted.
Always with the mute. They are 5. What did I say? I was trying not to be super tall. No, I'm always tall. They're 5'8". They are near human. They have they're spliced with hyena, and so they have very canine-ish features that are placed onto a human face. Excuse me. Other than a canine nose and canine-like lips, they also have pointed ears, spotted markings of a spotted hyena, and a small, what looks to be yarn doll that hangs from their ear all the time.
Nice. And as Etsuko, the chief medical officer, kind of gets done checking over Esme, we see them coming over to you. And as we see them coming over to you, the camera kind of pans over to our last crew member, which is Al Smith. What do you look like?
Elizabeth's suit doesn't quite dissipate, but she starts plucking off small, like, little plugins that help, carry that data, because Elizabeth is a nautiloid, and most of them are encased in some kind of hulking mechanized diving suit. Something eerily similar to, but legally distinct enough from the Big Daddy. Elizabeth, however, opted for the slimmer model, so she looks eerily similar to, but legally distinct enough from, a big sister.
Mm-hmm.
And she is 6'2", with terrible posture, so she just kind of hunches and looms over everyone like Coraline's other mother.
Nice. And as Etsuko kind of finishes up with you, she just goes, well, everyone seems all right. No adverse effects from the simulation. I was watching outside. A lot of people were actually. That move, Ismi, was inspired. That was great. I mean, probably wouldn't work in real combat, but simulation, if this was Anticore and that was like the key scoring point, you would win. You would get the championship. I have no doubt.
It has to be left to simulation, though.
Well, yes, we want to have you back, of course. I mean, unless you could think of a better way to jump on a ship. I'm sure you know.
Boots would work. I feel like you have to have momentum.
Yes, maybe a slingshot device. I don't know. I'm not
It's just going to be weird attaching the feet to the ship.
Especially at those high speeds. Well, it's good to see everyone is okay. If you need anything, I'm going to be in the cafeteria. It is lunchtime. It is good to see you, Second Officer Fusi. I know later on, Captain Ngozi wanted to see you, but they're giving you a few hours of downtime.
Few hours of downtime just means reading.
Of course, gotta keep the mind sharp. Well, I'm gonna go have some lunch. Good seeing everyone.
Me too.
She walks away. So in this kind of downtime, what do we see all of you do? What does it look like for a regular amount of time for you? Just a normal day on the ship. What's the mundane for coalition agents who are top of their field on the most specced out ship in the entire coalition fleet? And what are your roles?
I will go first. My role on the ship is second in command. For some reason, I've decided that it'd be a good idea for me to have a leadership position. Regular day for me, I think, or just my downtime, it is reading, but it's in the most weird way possible. Thus likes to go into commandeer a training room, one of the training rooms, turn off all of the artificial gravity and throw books in the air and just read whatever one floats at her face. She calls it Frankenstein reading it after this weird book she found from a low worlder.
Nice. And do you just kind of huddle away where no one can see you, or is there something that like people can kind of use and you got to stare off on the side?
Can come in, knock first, please. But if anyone on the ship needs me, it's very known that they can come find me wherever. I'll help wherever. Just don't make it be something where I actually have to be proper.
You mean do your job?
No, there's a difference. My job is to be in charge when the captain's not around. So I get that people need me, but don't make me actually do things. And I'll have to do things. I'll do them. I'm just going to complain the entire time.
So
I'm good at my job. I just don't like that I'm good at my job.
You sit in your chair just like everybody else does, one leg at a time.
Yeah. I'm on both legs at a time because I like to spin.
So would it be safe to say then that you're like you're the kind of like friendship, kind of aloof, kind of unwanting kind of leader, but like when shit needs to get done, you get it done?
Yeah, people regularly forget why I'm in charge until something actually happens, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's why.
Nice.
Like, what's your biggest skill to give? I'm good at critical thinking, but only at critical thinking. My brain only works on that high setting.
Nice. It's high or go home. Nice. As you're sitting there kind of reading this, and you're alone for maybe an hour and a half, you see coming in Menhet. They're in their tactical gear as they always are. You see them in their Invisigarb, which is kind of a cloak which magnetically shrouds them in whatever kind of environment they are, kind of like a chameleon cloak. And they walk over to you, all kind of stern. Nice. They come over to you.
Captain?
Well, Manhet is the chief military officer. When it comes to training and things like that, they are in charge. But when it isn't anything to do with training, you are their commanding officer because you are second in command.
Okay.
So they walk over to you and they just simply say, that was some good flying out there. It went a bit off books later on, but all in all, things went smoothly. How did you find it?
The ship?
The whole simulation.
It's a good simulation for what it was. It's a regular occurrence that could happen at any course. I think that it should be more. Things don't go on book. That's why the reactions weren't on book. Maybe throw something else that wouldn't normally happen at random intervals. Maybe a storm comes, or I feel like it should be harder. It's too easy. We wouldn't be so bored that we were doing weird things if there was actually things to focus on.
My simulations are getting too standard?
No, I think we're getting too good.
It's
less of an insult to you and more of a compliment to you.
No, I agree with you. You have been having a good an uptick lately in all of your combat trainings. Perhaps I was too... Yes?
I'm saying it means the training is good. If things are getting too fun, which I mean, like, don't ever stop that.
But you did very well. I must admit I was wondering why Captain Ngozi had you as a second in command, but you're proving yourself more times than not in your leadership skills. And as though unorthodox as you are, just like in any battle, everything is unorthodox. You fit in quite well.
I rarely ever hear that. Thank you.
Of course. And then they stand up straight and they salute. Commander?
I'm like facing backwards. Commander? I started rotating at some point and now I'm over here. Commander?
We see their eye twitch, but they don't say anything. And then they about face and start walking off.
They just hear this cackle. They always do it when they leave. Something stupid happens, but then it's like the most they ever are animalistically. You just hear
Nice. And as that scene kind of closes, where do we see Esme during your downtime?
Well, there is downtime. So Esme goes to the cafeteria and gets a comfortable amount of food and eats this food in an average amount of time that is good to eat food. And then probably does some work like repair and upkeep on circuitry for about 3.4 hours, which is pretty standard. And then they go to the bathroom for a comfortable amount of time. And then they have coolant system checks today as well. If they don't stop working, or sorry, if somebody doesn't stop them, they'll generally just keep working until it's time to sleep for an average amount of time.
Everything you do is always for an average amount of time, but your work always seems to take you extra. You always seem to get lost in it.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing else to do here. Everything's kind of boring and routine.
I think it's very routine.
Every day.
as you're working, you see under a kind of grav lift, you see sliding out Chief Engineer Officer Shuang. They kind of slide out. Their robotic arm seems to be like tinkering with something as they look towards you. They take out their other hand, take a cigarette out. There's like loads of oil and chemicals here, but they don't seem to care about smoking. And they just say to you, "So, how was the suit? Did it work? I saw what happened on the screens."
Ooh, the suit works fine, sir.
Ah, that's good. They kind of twist the hat around the long kind of hair, bristles to the back. I was wondering if it would, considering you got it from a bunch of scrap. You've been able to fashion something pretty good.
It's very comfortable for me.
Well, if you do enough good work, we can get it for from people on the ship.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to try it out. I would like to do a spacewalk soon with it. Perhaps in the next maintenance check for the solar panels.
They slide out and they kind of stand up to their like kind of 6 foot, and they look down at you and they just kind of say, "Is this space work necessary?"
It is not necessary until it is. It would just be to test. I could take an extra life suit just in case it does not work.
They smile at you and they just say, "It's always necessary to do a check." And then they go to a screen, they flip it up, they start pressing some buttons. "Oh, look at that. The induct valve just burst on the outside plate. I'm gonna need to fix it."
I should not be excited about that. In fact, that's actually kind of bad. I will go fix it.
All right, if it clogs up anymore, we may get a explosion happening, so better go fast.
Yes, sir. And they take to their feet and scurry away, and then come back and like grab all of their gear and start lifting it up and carrying it back and put it on their backpack. Just like fumbling with the harness the entire time as they're running.
We see you kind of run out of the engineering area, and as the door closed, we see Shirang just like flip a cigarette in the room. Then we see a light up flicker up, like, oh, fire, and they set it off. They take it off.
We're creating work for ourselves because everything's boring.
It seems so, right? As this is happening, the camera kind of fades and goes back to Elizabeth. What are you doing?
Elizabeth is the chief science sorceress, as she has rejected the officer title. She is in charge of research and development, although that's mostly playing with concoctions. As you know, everything is so routine, we have everything we need, and as a nautiloid, it is high on her priority to try to recreate the specific chemical compound of the nautiloid's home world for them to try and colonize a new one or be able to return. So that's where most of her day is spent. Occasionally, in the process of trying to achieve that concoction, she comes up with other interesting ones. On her duties is also backup doctor in case there's an emergency, but she has a terrible bedside manner and does not like to speak to anyone ever unless she has to.
Well, as you're always in the pursuit of trying to find the Poseidon serum for your people, you're kind of in the kind of science bay area. In charge of that is Chief Science Officer Dr. Diego, this kind of bold black man, very kind of olding now, very sophisticated, completely different to the engineer Shuang's kind of prosthetic arm. This one looks like it's top of the line, where it looks like Shuang's one they did like he did it themselves. So it's very different. He comes over to you, kind of fixes his glasses, and just says, "Elizabeth, did you take my extra supply of niacin?"
I did. We have enough of a backup, meds made in case anyone actually needs it. And I found a lead after a couple of chemical compounds produced an interesting effect.
Yes, I was just speaking about that interesting effect. As much as I completely condone your endeavors to do research here, when you left, your little experiment started growing mold and tried to climb out its beaker.
Oh, sometimes something interesting becomes interesting to the point that it becomes sentient. I wouldn't worry about anything crawling away, though. That's what Terry is here for.
Yes. I mean, if you're going to create a prosthetic elastic ooze, please make sure it's contained correctly. We can't have another Terry incident. Last time we couldn't get it off his face.
I would call that less of an incident and more of a discovery. Besides, if I keep them stored, I'll never know how big they can get.
Yes, I suppose that's true. And Terry was okay with it afterwards. Bit of therapy. Did you note down the experiments? I'd like to test it out in a more secure environment.
Yes, they're somewhere around here, and I will hand Dr. Diego a notepad, but it's written in Elizabeth's own particular shorthand. So I'm sure he'll have fun trying to decipher what that is.
He's looking at it. It's like, is this English or not, Lloyd? Is that a square?
That's a trapezoid.
It's weird in notes. It's in a sentence. Okay. And he just looks at you, looks at this again. We see the camera kind of fade on this scene of him trying to figure out, what is this? What is this thing? And we see all of you coming together and doing your downtime, your daily routines, and just living your life on this ship, which hasn't done any action that you had thought would have been in months. You have been stationed on Corpria, which is a planet directly outside the sectors of the war zone, that is encompassing the Dwarven Conclave and the Orc war zone. And you've just been orbiting this planet, not really engaging, not really pushing your own limits. And as this is happening, we see over a comm link to you, Fusi. You get a message from the captain that just says, "Please come to my quarters. It is urgent." You're muted.
Always.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kick off the nearest object so that I can write myself down on the ground and just go. There is no like changing or getting into it. They said it's urgent, so I just moved. So I'm just in like a tank top, my officer pants, boots, and that's it. And make sure that this little guy is clicked back in my hair, back in my ear, and then I leave.
You do, and you head in, and as you kind of open up, we see the captain, Ngozi. She is sitting at her table. You haven't been called to the bridge, which is typical considering that she wanted to talk to you. She's wearing this flight suit that seems to kind of shimmer in the light. Stark white hair that's kind of in a foxhawk. Basically, it looks like Halle Berry. And they look at you and they just say, "I've been monitoring your progress, first officer, and I think it's time I've put you on something more meaty. There's been something that's come to my attention, and I'm going to need you to handle it." And they punch in some information on what's to be a data screen, and they flick it over to you, and then you see all of who we've seen now. We see Manhat, we see Shuang, see Dr. Diego, we see all of them, Etsuko, and they
You want
just
me to
say,
take attendance?
no, I want you to take these and go on a mission. You'll have 2 other slots. Take someone who you can trust in these 2 slots that only you can pick. The others, I need you to find who the traitor is. And that's where we're going to take a break.
A really shouldn't be very big grin just starts growing on their face. Just like, oh, what?
I say, what? Sparkle eyes. So we're going to take a little break here, go hydrate, go stretch, do all the things, and we will see you back here shortly. No? Hello? Yep. So, sorry, I'm having some technical issues there. I thought my camera wasn't and my mic wasn't on. But hello, everyone. A small glitch in space, and here we are once again. Back to this fun little game we're playing, Lost Horizon Semblance. We are playing in the Magehand Press Dark Matter campaign book. Dark Matter is a rip-roaring, futuristic campaign set against a mashup of sci-fi and fantasy influences, which let you play D&D in space without learning a new system. We are using Magehand Press content as well as SRD. Also, as well, Magehand Press have a Kickstarter going on right now, which is for a complete box set to get you started playing your own sci-fi adventures in space. We're going to be doing our best to show you all the fun you can have in space and what content Magehand Press provide you. A link to their Kickstarter should be in chat. Hopefully, it's a little bot works. We are also sponsored by them as well. Also, we are sponsored by VZ3D works, all one word. 3D printed TTRPG props, perfect for every table, from your mythic mug collection to the Fates and Dice Towers. Using our affiliate link, you'll get 12% off in the checkout, which you can only find here on this stream live. So people watching in the future, come watch us live. It's totally worth it. As well as that, you can also donate to the stream. You can scroll down to the informational section below and see about all the cool things we have there. We have thank yous, we have Hydrate, Medic, Favored by the Force, Phases to Kill, and our God tier Glitch in the Matrix. All very exciting and fun. So, before we jump back in, why don't we do a little recap? And as well, become a husk. We heard their final words on the data pad. We saw a simulation of a mock battle where shenanigans were had. They were chewed out by a military officer, but then went about their time among the ship, working with their superiors and doing their own internal work, creating problems so they can fix it, because apparently it is super boring on the ship where nothing seems to be happening. For this top-end military merc ship that prides itself on war and profiteering. But before we left, I'm gonna just mess up your name here. Foos, thank you. God voice. Foos. Think you Skyrim for that. They first radard themselves into the captain's quarters, and we're talking with Captain Ngozi, where they gave them a data pad with a number of names on it. Dr. Diego, Shuang, Menhet, and Etsuko was on there. They told them that they could pick 2 other people to go on whatever mission they're about to go on. And this is where we catch in. As Ngozi is sitting in the chair looking at you, their silver eyes gleaming, and they just say, "Those data packets I gave you, they are top secret. One of those people is a traitor to the coalition, and I need to know who, and I need you to neutralize them. I am putting you in charge of an away mission." And they kind of sit back. There is a facility, a secret facility, on a planet called Foshura. The secret facility is called Horizon. We need you to find these medical supplies that have gone missing. Top of the line. This ship is one of the best in the galaxy. What we're having researched in this facility is the best medical supplies that we can use and profit from. I got an SOS not too long ago. If you think you're ready for this.
Only one way to find out.
They kind of look at you. What do you think of these people?
I think everybody you've placed in front of me has a reason. I just don't know which one is the best one. Why do you think these people are the options?
These are the people who knew the facility existed. No
Only
one else should. Yes, only them and higher in command. I have gotten from command that they had a strange signal leave our vicinity in our ship, but couldn't pinpoint it. This is why we've been docked here for months.
do all of them know about the upcoming mission?
No. You'll be the one telling them.
I think I know who I want to bring.
Who?
Heh. Esme and Elizabeth.
They breathing deep. Really? Why?
Well, Elizabeth will be good to have on the field, given their powers. Not to mention, if anything goes south with me, I'll definitely be able to track them down. As far as Esme is concerned, I don't know. They're as unpredictable as, well, me. And they just like freeze for a second and they just kind of stare off, and you think they're like, hello, snap back, and they're like, I wasn't talking, was I?
They look at you, kind of used to this. They just kind of clear their throat. You
Esme,
trailed off.
believe me. There could have been bait.
Well, if you think that they are useful, then bring them. These medical supplies are important. Maple is important. You need to protect them. Do you understand?
How important is important? Like all limbs?
I mean, if it's between Maple and an officer, then you choose Maple. This kind of research could save millions of lives.
Okay.
All right. You'll
You
be
don't think
take.
it's me, do you?
If I thought it was you, and they stop for a minute. No, I don't think it's you.
Ugh,
I
me.
think if you were the traitor, you'd be more upfront about it.
Right?
Besides, if you're the traitor, it looks bad on me. So try not to be it, the traitor, because I did pick you for your position. They joke.
I try my best to not get caught.
Yes, well, take the hummingbird. Once you leave this ship and gather your crew, you'll be in charge. And they stand up and they hand you the data pad to keep this secret. And just watch everyone. Bring everyone to the captain's cockpit and tell them the mission there. But apart from that, I'll leave this to you, Captain. You do that?
Yes, so that's in character. They're so used to this crap from them. And it's like, thank you. Such a straight face.
I think out of seeing this, they just kind of pull a hand on your shoulder and they just say, you'll be fine.
I hope so. And it's again, it's not weird, but they take like a really deep sniff of the air around them, almost like they're locking in Ngosi's scent.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do that before they go to leave. Like that's their way of saying like bye. Like, okay, I have your scent, so if anything happens to you, I can find you now. Bye.
Hail the pack. Roll me an intellect, a wisdom save.
Wisdom save?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Wait.
You get a not. I don't see your roll for some reason. Tell me what you got.
Save. Wait.
12.
I hit disadvantage on that because that's when I was trying
It's
to.
okay. They both come up, so it's just the left one. So it's a 12.
Ooh.
Okay. Yep. You sniff the air and you get this kind of relaxing scent from Ngozi, which it's kind of always comforting to, I guess, see the alpha of the pack, right?
Yeah, I know her. I know her saying that is definitely them. Like I can trust what they're saying. This is definitely them. This depends a lot on their sense of smell when it comes to people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, okay, you told me all this stuff. It doesn't mean anything if you don't smell right to me when I go to leave. Because then I'm
Yeah.
not going to do what you said.
Definitely right. It's probably saved you more than once. So they look towards you and just say, dismissed.
You turn on their heels. There's like very much like suddenly it's like they're very much in mode. Like their face straightens. They turn on their heels and they go to leave to like get ready.
Mm-hmm. Where do you go? What do you do?
First thing I'm going to do is go back to my quarters, if only to like gather all of my things. Because once I leave the room, it's kind of like to be on because now I have to actually be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back, put on what my officer's jacket is, which is like almost a high collar
Ooh.
jacket that comes down and splits off into sections like vectors all over what would be a normal officer's jacket that has spikes. Like it was clearly a DIY thing. Like they gave them their uniform and they went, okay, and then just threw chemicals in on it. It's actually how I met Elizabeth. They went into the science lab and just took chemicals and started putting them on the jacket like it was dye. Now their jacket is just like this rainbow acid wash thing. They put that on, make sure they have everything, and then go. And they're gonna go to Elizabeth first, actually.
Okay. Where do we see Elizabeth?
You're muted.
Always was the mute button.
All of us.
I think there's a fun scene transition of Thusi like putting the chemicals on their jacket, and then it like does the quick cutaway to Elizabeth just pouring chemicals into some kind of. She's got like a big glass cauldron that is gradiated like the cylinders.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just pouring stuff in there. Terry is doing the zoomies around it.
Oh, we got the zoomies. They you like hear like a small like knock before they come in. Like they come inside of like the lab. Would it'd be like the lab that you're in?
Yeah. It's like this little side quarantine lab because her fumes tend to be noxious.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically quarantine her experiments into that side lab.
So while you're doing everything, suddenly this like there's nothing on the data pad, but there's a data pad floating, like getting waved in front of your face, and you just hear this go, "I know something you don't know."
That is until they tear the data pad away from you and learn it.
No, they like back up really quickly, like like you hear their feet like kick off. They like back up, like no, don't be a dick about it. Just ask me what it is.
Why would I ask you when you're going to tell me anyway?
Because it's a thing. You do the thing, then I do the thing, then you do the thing, then I do the thing, and then we go.
What's on the data pad?
Well, I can't tell you, but
That's okay. You'll note the lack of an upward inflection. I wasn't really asking.
do you want to go on a fun thing with me, or do you want to stay here bored? You have 5 seconds to pick. 4, 3, 1, 3.5.
I guess I'll go.
All right. So I need you to bring anything that you want, plus anything we might need. They
That's
look at you
incredibly vague.
They look at you like that made complete sense. Like, and we need. The most I can tell you is murder mystery party. Meet me at the front deck. And then they go, and then they leave.
Murder mystery. Okay.
There's like a zoom in on Elizabeth's helmet, the glass part, and you see the reflection of Susan walking away. And there's just a big sigh off camera.
The next person that they go to find is going to be Esme. Where are they?
They're coming back into the airlock from fixing that clog.
They actually fixed it. That's good.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm good at my job.
good. When you come up, this will be like leaning up against wherever the hatch is. They'll be leaning up against it for when you come out.
This, I did not expect to see you there. How are you?
I'm hungry.
Oh, did you not eat enough?
No, I just want more food.
Oh,
They shake like, oh wait, that's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. I need your help.
I can be of assistance in a great many topics. How can I help?
How perceptive are you?
It depends on what kind of perception you're talking about.
If
I
I
tend
needed
to be.
people's personal space without them realizing that you were being in their personal space, could you do that on a regular basis?
I've been told no on many occasions.
But if I gave you permission?
I mean, in the way that I'm not very subtle about the way that I engage with things. However, I'm very good at programming or surveillance through technology.
That works too.
Why?
Because I would need you to do specifically those things, but only tell me.
Oh, on purpose.
On
Yes,
purpose.
I can do these things on purpose.
Yes.
Most of the time I do them by an accident when I'm,
But you can do them on purpose.
Yes, I can. I learned how to do it, yes. What kind of things are you looking to do?
I'll tell you in 5 minutes when you meet me and Elizabeth at the front deck.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go tell the other people the things.
Right.
They're vague on purpose right now.
Yes. Well, you're my commanding officer, so you don't really need to give me more information if you don't want to. I will meet you on the deck in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Remember 5. Like you hear them, but they like jog down the corridor.
5, 4, 3, 1, 3.5.
I also told Elizabeth 5 minutes as well, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. They're going to tell all the other people who are supposed to be on the mission 20 minutes to give the 3 of them time, because they said pick people that they trust. So they're going to assume that means that these are the only 2 people who can also know what's going on.
Sure, yeah.
So
I would allow that.
when they go into the room that they told them to meet them in, they're going to look at Esme and they're going to be like, this is a test. I need you to make it so that nobody hears what we're going to say in here. On purpose.
All right. Let's see. I might be able to use my circuitry kit toolkit to briefly disable any microphones.
Yeah,
in this
so
room.
I think for that then you can either do either mechanics or data.
Okay.
I'll leave it to you.
We'll do. Same. Let's do data. Why not? Oh, that was at advantage. I'm sorry. So the one on the left is 15. However, I also have my AI companion.
Oh, nice.
So I can. It's the same actually. So 15.
Okay. What does it look like as you're securing the area?
I take off panels. And as V says, there are microphones here, here, and then goes other places here and here. And then plugs in their data pad into the wall clicks a few holographic buttons on it. Okay, now no one should. Okay, now no one should. No one should hear us now.
As you have your data pad hooked into the wall, and I forgot to mention this, Foos, please mark down on your sheet 1, just anywhere for me.
1.
Okay.
Okay.
Esme, as you're going through and you're clicking off anything that may be coming through as potential monitoring, you come through to a channel and you hear some music. It's a bunch of beeps, and it comes through rhythmically. And then you hear almost like some strings, but it's all very binaural before it cuts off.
I know that song. Anyway, no one should hear us now.
Okay. So they're going to, it's like, they're going to tell them what's going on without giving them all the information. Like, they're going to explain the mission and that they have to go and protect the guy and go to the place. But when they go down who the other officers who will be joining them on the mission are, that's when they, like, the explanation sort of eases back and goes, so you two are going to have an unknown hierarchy on everyone else. You answer directly to me above anyone else. You two specifically. You accept that responsibility. If not, I have a limited amount of time to replace you. Would you like that responsibility?
Well, you are the commanding officer on this mission, so yes, they will have to.
I think whether I like it or not is irrelevant. Now I know.
Well, there's a mission. We must protect the guy. You cannot do it if you don't want. I just need to know before the other people show up. You just want to be like sure that like you are choosing to do the craziness with them now. So,
I guess I'll take it. There'll be something different to do while the concoctions finish cooking.
And that is why I need both of you two, because no matter what I'm thinking, you always have some alternate plan that will most likely protect us. And I'm so busy trying to make sure that your crazy plans actually work that everyone ends up being in line. So, and then they're like going to get really close to you two and take really deep sniffs. Same thing, just kind of like, no, now I know your scent. They already know yours, Elizabeth, because of the spell we have. But Esme, this would be like one of the, they've only maybe done this once or twice when they first met you, probably the first time you ever got in trouble with them, and like now. So whatever like your sense are now locked in. And a thing that helps with is that it helps my perception. I'm going to watch y'all while I tell you, let me word it specifically. When I get to where the other officers that are going to be joining the mission are, I go, one of them is hiding something that could put a lot of people in danger. And I'm like watching your faces specifically to see how you react to it. I need to find out who that is. I want you two to help me. If we fail, it's bad. But the mission is to neutralize the problem. I need to make sure that the people who are on my side know that that means at all costs. We protect our target at all costs.
I feel like I should say that there might have been some miscommunication. The mission is to get
target, like not target. I meant like we protect the guy.
No, so there's no like guy. It's medical supplies. The medical supplies are called Maple.
You're called Maple. I can't
Oh, okay.
think of the person. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
All right. So all the ominous stuff I said, but for the medicine.
Actually,
it's attached to medicine.
If the medicine is not an actual person, it might be good to describe it as a person instead to keep it covert.
Oh yeah. I am on board with that plan.
We will call it Meds Mickelson.
Meds Mickelson.
Yes. I love you, Kai.
So
JK, not that name. Any other name.
I don't know. It's up there in the ether now.
Oh no.
Yeah, vote for what we call the medicine man.
Oh no.
What's their name?
Tyler Linall.
What are we doing here? Okay, the ship explodes, and that's the end of the stream.
Transmit protein.
This is my friend Ian B. Profen.
Any relation to Adaville?
Yeah, actually. Oh, actually, I really like Adaville. We gotta protect Ada.
Hey, all of this. Save me, chat. Save me. I'm the one trapped in space.
We're not trapped in here with you.
Yeah, no, right?
Okay. But yes, it's all medicine. But I think that's a good idea. We will continue to talk about it like it is a person around the other officers for when we have to pass on information if we just want to put that in our notes for ourselves. Other than that, now that they know what's going on and that we have to protect the medicine at all costs, and that there might be somebody who will try to like stop us. Would that be like an insight or a perception check on these two?
For these two people?
Yes, because after the conversation, after this, that's when everybody else is going to show up and it's going to be like showtime.
Okay, so are you trying to find out if Esme and Elspeth are lying to you, or these people?
Right now, to make sure that these two aren't lying to me, so then I can move forward knowing that they're like at my back. It's kind of like a character flaw. Once they are like, I can trust you, it's not even a question anymore, but they have to get out the way first.
I think that to kind of save you vote against a player, I think that's kind of up to you.
Yeah, more for a question for them. Like, you guys are telling me the truth, right? You're on board, and then that's when everybody else shows up.
So I think when everybody else shows up, everyone else is there promptly on time, and Het is at front, as she always is, and they're all kind of line up in this room, this kind of large kind of orbital room. We see the kind of panel that just has space kind of reflected on it. It's not like an actual window, it's just like panels. And we see just the large kind of gas giant rotating around, and it's like star. So it's just illuminating the whole room with like kind of orange glow. And as everyone kind of walks in, they all look towards you and just say, "You wanted to see us?"
Yes, and like, and then the debriefing that happens for the mission would be very reminiscent, as if Ngozi was doing it. Like, it's very like proper. It's very professional. It gives all the points. It shows it like sounds very official, and it would probably confuse the crap out of everybody that they are being this professional about it.
I think that kind of snaps them in two, because you're only this way when it's something that is done, very matter of fact, and everyone is kind of nods. But Shuang often has a problem with just authority. Like, they don't take their position. They take their position seriously, but they joke around a lot. They act very out of sorts for their high tier kind of command.
Yeah.
And this doesn't seem to sit well.
With
I know, right? this doesn't sit well with them. And there is like this coffee cup of just like some coffee that was in it left, because she would excuse everyone, and they just kind of like, with their robotic arm, he just throws it down, And he's just like, this is bull crap. I have been waiting months to be on this ship. It is the top of the line in the entire coalition fleet, and now I'm being downgraded to the Hummingbird? My skill set is not good on the Hummingbird. I should be here with the top of the line. All due respect, Commander, but my skill set far outweighs anyone else on the Hummingbird. I am needed here to keep this ship running.
So you would rather that me and the crew that I've chosen go out here without somebody of your quality to keep us safe. So your pride is more important than what we're doing. That's what you're telling me. Right?
They look at you, and you see the kind of blush on their face, and they're just like, I can't say yes. But they just say, I just think that for this mission, that seems to be more on the away team than it does on the engineering staff, that I would be best suited here.
So how much have you worked on the Hummingbird?
I know of its schematics. It is not as top of the line as this one. It is a class-free dark matter engine.
But do you know about the wiggly bit in the landing gear?
They look at you. What?
Or did you know that there's a small problem with one of the core temperatures? And if we're going to transport something this sensitive, that maybe keeping that core temperature is a lot more important?
Can one of the lesser engineers do it?
I don't want them to. Does anybody in this room seem like they would be chosen other than for the fact that I wanted them to? All of you are best friends and will always work together at the drop of a hat, right?
Jordan's kind of like looking at each other. They kind of nod, being like, you're the commander. I should just agree.
I will never want you to just do what I say because I said it. If you have something worth saying, then please do. That way we can figure it out and move on so I don't have to worry about you biting me in the ass later. But if I picked you, it was for a reason. If you do not want to come, speak now or stop.
You see Shuang, they just look at you. They just fold their arms, and he just says, fine, whatever. And they just light up a cigarette. They look at the no smoking sign and they shrug.
This is going to take the cigarette, take a few hits, give it back, and then go, any other questions? And then blow out the smoke.
Nice. Everyone kind of like looks and nods, and Menhet just kind of like seems to nod in approval. Everyone seems to be agreeing with you.
Okay. We will be leaving out at insert time. We're going to be leaving. You have insert amount of time to get ready.
Everyone nods at that time. Everyone agrees, and everyone kind of walks out.
When everyone goes to leave, I'm going to say it like I'm still like mad and angry. Esme, Elizabeth, you have to stay.
Yes, Captain.
And then everybody else goes.
Yeah.
When they do, this turns around and goes, how was that? Was that good? How was I? Like, they have a tail. It is currently like poof, they're like anxious. They're like, how was that?
I just don't know what we did wrong.
Crap. No, nothing. I just needed
to
be kind.
Oh, you were very convincing, yes.
Yay.
You didn't do anything wrong, right?
No.
It's okay. I can change.
I mean, maybe change your clothes every once in a while, but you're good.
Yes. It does have a...
You don't stink.
It's because I spray it every day.
It smells nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What about you? What do you think about other than Shuang or Shuang? I want to make sure I say that.
Shuang.
Shuang.
Other than Shuang, but I do think that was just more pride than anything else. But before we leave, Esme, if you could follow them, maybe make sure that they're not trying to bring anything out of the ordinary with them.
I can try, yes. I'm their subordinate officer. I should be able to follow them without an issue.
Yeah. Any ideas from you? They look to Elizabeth.
I'm sure I could back up Esme. Let me follow them discreetly as the heavy footfalls from my living suit echo through the hallway. The skittering nanites that follow me cling against my suit, and Terry's incessant zooming tails me.
Great.
This is normal, yes.
It's like, great. What exactly can you do with Terry?
Terry
Mbide
can.
just hangs here.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I said Mbide just hangs here. So, what's Terry do?
Terry tests my concoctions. He can also scout ahead and manages to guard the beakers and follow any slime that might get sentient into the ducts and vents to take care of them. If any managed to escape, I might have to release the neurotoxin purge. And last time that happened, everyone yelled at me.
To be fair, it was a neurotoxin. Couldn't move.
Well, that sounds like a you problem then.
It was, in fact, an everyone problem.
Was in fact an
Not mine. So not everyone.
Bring some. You know when you might be in use of a good neurotoxin. But also, if it ever becomes an us problem, then it's a you problem.
That doesn't make sense. It can't be a we problem.
It can be a we problem. You and me.
Like royal we?
No, like the three of us, we have to protect each other and make sure that we stay okay. So if something happens to us, it's a you problem because I don't think anybody else is necessarily going to have your back.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go fetch the neurotoxin.
If only for self-preservation. Please keep alive.
So as you go to fetch your neurotoxin and Esme goes and trails Shuang, everyone kind of goes and gets ready. Takeoff was pretty quick. It's within the next kind of 2 hours. And Ngozi wants you to kind of be on this mission post haste. Before you head off, Ngozi just kind of meets you again and just kind of reiterates that the medical supplies Maple need to be protected and gotten at all costs. If there's any survivors at the Horizon facility, do as much as you can to protect them, as they're top of the line and really great people. So just gonna do what you can. And as they say that, you all go to leave, head out, and as you kind of go to the sky, the kind of port that is not on the planet but is an apparatus that is floating already in space with the hummingbird, this large a ship that is in the shape of, it's kind of like a large kind of cylinder, two smaller ones at the side, and like the big kind of rotor engines. It is ducked out in kind of reds and silvers. And as everyone kind of goes on board, as you're the one in front, you see that it's already manned with people, with coalition staff, as this large ship would need to have just a full crew on it. And as you're kind of walking through, you hear on the comms on this large transport ship just the kind of whistle go out, and everyone says "Captain on deck." And as you're walking through the halls, everyone is like stopping and saluting, saying "Captain, good day, Captain, nice to meet you." And as you kind of get to the main kind of deck, you see your pilots and your comms specialist. And as this is happening, do you have the same? Have you given the same roles to Esme and Elsbeth, or do you station them somewhere else?
I think I would give them their roles that way they can do something comfortable. I want to keep them in their same roles, if only so they can muscle memory, like mindlessly do their job while they're paying attention to other stuff like they always do. I don't want to take away the ability to multitask, to multi-ship. So as of right now, I'll keep them at the positions that they're at now. That we agreed upon before.
And if you want Esme's input on it, because Shuang is already pretty frustrated with the fact that that they're going to be working on the hummingbird instead, it's probably better to keep Esme under them as like an authority kind of thing.
Gotcha. Any input from you? I keep wanting to call you your character name instead of calling you.
No, that sounds good.
Okay.
As you get in the cockpit, you've been given the data and everything like that, and as you kind of get ready, you see the kind of like the pilot come up to you. This dark-skinned human, Bantu curls, white dots around the cheekbones, and they just look towards you and just say, "Foos, should we take off, Captain? Is all good?"
I mean, yes. They say it a few times, like they're trying to find their captain voice. They're like, yeah, yes. Everything's ready. Everything's ready.
They just nod. Yes, everything is ready. They go over to the console. You see them hit two nodes, and they slide their hand up, and you see the lights flicker up as data screens, these holographic projections come up, and they do a few dials, and they go through the large speakerphone system that goes throughout the entire ship and just says, "Dark matter jump in 5, 4, 3," and they count down, and as it does, we
starts howling at you like
every that comes through the loudspeakers.
It's like they do it every time they dark matter jump. It's just it don't change because they're in charge. It's like and then they just
and these are new people, so everyone's kind of looking at you. So they kind of go like 2, 1. Questioningly, and then you jump off, and we see you shooting and rippling out in space as you kind of go into this light speed motion before you kind of disappear, and there is this kind of thin blue light of kind of like purple that shines out, and you sip through the void, and that's where we see you as you traveling through, and you have no communications kind of anywhere. And I need to see here. I would like, as we're traveling through, because it's going to take you, because your destination is on the other end of the universe, near the galactic frontier. So it's going to take you a few weeks. I would like everyone to run me a perception check, and this would be to see which one the highest is. Okay, what you get?
I got a 10.
Nice.
I'm perceptive.
I got a cool 5.
Oh yeah.
Nice. And it seems Elizabeth has a 14. So Elizabeth, a few weeks in before you're supposed to go to a Moor station, which is this large kind of like skeletal structure of like this ancient creature, which is fixed to basically a space station where people teleport, and you've been teleporting through them a few times now before you're supposed to go there, restock, refuel, and all of this. You're traveling through the halls, and when you travel through the halls of the ship, you get to a point where no one's around you. It's maybe coming close to the night shift, so it's very sparse. And as you're walking around, you swear you can hear footsteps following you. What do you do, Elizabeth?
I will pretend that nothing is amiss and maybe try to, lead them somewhere.
Where do you
Or
lead
try
them?
to see how far they follow me, to see if they're like following me or if they're just going in a similar direction.
Okay, you head forward, you take a few turns, and as you get to the dark matter engine room, you hear the door kind of slide open. What do you do?
So it slides open as I get there or as somebody else gets there?
So as you are walking, because you're in front, as you're walking down, trying to see if this person follows you, or you're just going in the same direction, as you're kind of making lefts and right, as you walk past the dark matter engine room, you continue walking on. As you walk past the door, maybe like 10 feet on, you hear the dark matter room door open and close, like that. Shh, shh.
I will double back, but stealthily.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Stealth.
21, nice. You quiet your frame down and you take very deliberate steps, and you set the door to quiet, and as you you kind of peek in, the dark matter room is completely empty. Dark matter engine room, you can't see anything as it is now, and maybe if you look around, but you don't see any night staff either. You just hear the hum. What do you do?
I will perceive, and can I send like Terry up into the vents?
What does Terry do, and what is Terry?
Terry is usually all up in everybody else's business during the day, but at night he usually sticks close. And I'm sure they're already up in the vent somewhere, so I think I will just call them and let them know to, head in the direction of the dark matter reactor.
Okay. And Terry's your familiar?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So if you wanna do that, are you perceiving through them or just having them do it by themselves?
I'm having them do it by themselves, and I will check out my immediate vicinity.
Okay. Roll me perceptions.
I think, especially since it's dark, I will activate the light in my suit, so it's just a big kind of spotlight coming from my diving helmet visor, as it were.
If you do that, you will be out of stealth.
Oh, never mind. I'll keep my stealth then.
Yeah. Okay, you got a 9 for you. And then Terry's one. Does Terry have one?
Does Terry have...
you said he's looking out, right?
Yes. Do you want me to roll for Terry, or do you want to roll for Terry?
I'll have you roll because it's your familiar and you know the stats and stuff. Okay, and for Terry. So you look around, and you don't see anything. And as you're kind of moving around this large dark matter engine room, and you see in the center is this large cylindrical glass tube, and in it you see this large shard, this jagged shard of dark matter, and around it are smaller shards that seem to rotate around it, and there is this purple electricity sparking throughout it, and that seems to be powering the engine. Dark matter crystals can be very volatile and break easily, which can cause catastrophic explosions or wormholes. So as you're kind of walking around this entire room, you get to a panel which seems to be glitching. It seems to be the control panel, and it's like someone had accessed it. And as you focus on that, you hear the tss of the door as someone must have left. But you see that someone was accessing this data panel, which appears to be glitching.
I know my limits and that I am not very good at technology. So I will call Esme.
Okay. You do like call them on the comms. Esme, you get a call wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
This is Esme.
Esme, we seem to have a problem with the control panel in the dark matter engineering room.
Now you would say this is an all of us problem?
Well, considering if the dark matter goes volatile and we either become a wormhole or become blasted pieces in the void, yes, this is an everyone problem.
That does sound like an everyone problem. I will be right there.
As you're going down, Esme, run me a perception check.
Ooh. That was a solid 8 for you.
That's great. Yeah, nice, good.
Nice.
You run past and you're kind of going down, and you feel something hit you, something bump into you. But as you were in an intersection, and it kind of goes from back where you came and left and right, it's an open area, but you definitely feel something bump into you, and then it seems to disappear.
I do have a piece of tech that allows me, I've got thermal sight because I have an implant in my eye that allows me to see objects that give off heat, like creatures. Assuming this thing gives off heat, I'd like to activate it.
Yeah, I think then I'll give you another roll then for advantage.
Yay. Do you want to roll perception? Okay, well, that's a 9.
I guess you got it anyway. What can I say? You turn it on, and you don't see anything. There are too many corridors, too many adamantine steel walls for the hull, and nothing seems to be around.
Huh. Odd. Oh well. To the room.
That was normal anyway.
Well, that must have been normal because nothing's happening. So away I go.
Yeah, and you get to the dark matter engine room.
Okay. What seems to be the issue here? Stride up, say hi to Elizabeth, and look at the panel.
As you look at the panel, you see that it is completely fine.
This seems fine to me.
It was doing that glitching thing before. Is it not doing it now?
Not now. Although if it was doing it before, perhaps I should wait around for a while and make sure it stays stable.
Elsbeth, you see it glitching.
I still see it glitching, but perhaps it's an issue with my sensors and not the panel itself.
We can recalibrate both and see, but I don't see this thing you're talking about. There are 4 lights.
Odd. Did you pass anyone on the way here by chance?
No.
Well, unless the door sensors are also glitching, someone came in and then left.
Huh. I did think I ran into somebody, but there was nobody there.
One coincidence I'll buy, but not 3.
There's no coincidence, and this isn't glitching. I will stay around and make sure it remains stable, but this is fine.
Erring on the side of paranoia, since you're familiar with the ship systems. Aside from the dark matter reactor, what other systems would be the most vulnerable?
Vulnerable? Well, many of them. Air supply systems, temperature, coolant, heat. Any of those go out, we would be dead in a matter of, well, it depends, hours, sometimes minutes, it depends. Even the slightest pinhole in the side of the ship could create a huge vacuum that would kill us all in mere moments, depending on where it is. We're fragile creatures. Maintenance is very important. Why?
Well, let's divide and conquer. You focus on things not glitching and running as normal. And in case of a contingency, I will focus on being very paranoid and assuming someone is actively trying to sabotage the ship.
Ah, yes. Business is normal.
Bingo.
I
I
can
will
do
send
that.
Terry to watch over life support, and I will head over and check temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're heading to check over temperature then, Elsbeth.
Yeah, I think I will head to find Thus and just kind of take that scenic route that will let me check as many critical systems as I can on the way without arousing too much suspicion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you do. It seems very quiet just for like the night shift once again. But you see a few people here and there, and you make it to Foos.
Are you like in your quarters, or?
Yeah, I'm in my quarters.
I'll help
Everybody's.
myself in because I don't knock.
I'm hanging from the top part, like doing crunches.
That seems wise. The muscles can atrophy in low gravity. You might want to further embrace that gravity and come down here because we might have a problem.
Oh no, they're upside down and then their legs just go straight and they just flip over. They're like, what?
I was just passing by the dark matter reactor room. I heard the door open and close, and when I doubled back to investigate, the control panel seemed to be glitching. As my skills lie in the more esoteric than technical, I called Esme, but they could detect no flaw in either my systems, the control panel systems, or the door.
Which means it's not a technological problem. It seems to be more into our set of expertise.
And aside from you or I'm not sure who else might have possessed those talents, but just in case, I'm focusing on protecting the critical systems to the ship. I have sent Terry to watch over the life support. You might place yours somewhere on another system, like the dramatic reactor. or the temperature coolants.
I knew I picked you guys for the reason. You're the perfect mix of optimism and paranoia.
That's exactly what Esme said. You might be spending too much time with them.
Oh no. But so I am actually going to do that. I take the little dude out of the ear and go, "You're right. You should do something. You're being lazy." And then it's kind of like toss him on the ground, and then he just lands and goes, kind of like runs away. It has the ability to get bigger, to get smaller, but it is just a little yarn dude.
Running and screaming.
Right now, as of right now, it's just my little yarn dude. He's like, and kind of like runs off.
You wouldn't happen to have an identical replica of that, would you?
Because actually, I cast duplicity and make another one.
Best not to arouse suspicion then. In fact, I'll let Terry continue their rampage throughout the ship, so they don't know they're lying in wait somewhere. They probably won't try the dark matter reactor again after tonight. I will cast a ward on the life support system.
I'm actually going to turn around to get the data pad that has all the people on it. I've been like taking notes and like putting weird things that I remember and kind of like writing. Dr. Shuang has like devil horns and like a little goatee because they got on my nerves really. It's like it's on the data pad. Nice. And I'm just kind of going forward and I'm like, okay, there should be. Can I retroactively say something?
Yeah.
When everybody did get on the ship, just because everybody's on the ship, everybody has like their data pads and everything. Is there a way for me to use those to know where people are?
Yeah, you could have gotten Esme to set up a like a tracking thing on them.
Since it is retroactively, I will even put up like I can roll for it to see if it passed or failed. If you don't want to just give it to me,
it's a simple thing to like just kind of link your kind of location to them.
But that being said, what time was that recent? What you're saying? Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to Elizabeth to look.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think I have a firm enough grip on time that I would be able to give a pretty good approximation of how long it's been.
Yes, Kai.
It's also possible that the captain gave you specific comms with like sort of a GPS in them, so that you could track movement.
Yeah, just something like that. If that's okay, if that's possible, I would like to do that because I want to see in that time range if any of them were around that area, because that's what I'll pay attention to.
Yeah, I mean, you even have like camera feeds and footage and things like that in the ship. So any kind of security thing, you have the highest access, so you'll be able to access it without needing any kind of role. So all of the comms are all where they should be throughout the day in their areas, but unless you can track them individually, someone could just leave a data pad somewhere.
I think the only people that I could actively track. Well, I mean, I smelled everybody when I got in there. So I'm good. Show me where you said the dark matter thing. So I will go sniff literally go sniff that out. And Elizabeth can continue their rounds like they were doing. I thank you for reporting to me. Thank you. I like say thanks and like jog away. I can go try to check that out unless you're coming with me. I didn't know if you had mentioned it.
I'm gonna head to the life support system.
That's what I thought. Okay. So I'm gonna head that way. I lock my room, but I head that way.
Okay. You start heading that way. Esme, what have you been doing all this time? Kind of like 20 minutes gone by.
I'm monitoring the dark matter engine to make sure that it is not actually malfunctioning, because I do want to take Elizabeth's word in good faith, so I'm monitoring it and making sure.
Okay. And how are you doing that? Kind of talk me through it.
Nominal checks. So hooking it up to my data pad, making sure it is at accurate and normal levels, and checking it every probably 5 minutes.
As you're doing that, run me a data, I think.
15?
Yeah, so as you're doing this and you're checking it through, your data pad starts to flicker and glitch. And as it glitches, you start hearing music coming through again.
I know this song.
Binaural music. And as it glitches, a letter, just one letter, appears on your entire pad. And there's a K. And it glitches again. And then it moves. And then the pieces of the K split into segments and start to rotate around before they start disintegrating. And this seems odd to you, but it looks like almost cold, like actual cold. As you
Like
hear this music.
Frosty? Sort of?
No, as in like actual like binaural code, as like
code,
letters, as letters start to disintegrate and swirl around, they start to almost become cold.
Gotcha. Oh, let's see here. I do also have a universal translator that I can use to read all writing. Is there readable text in here?
Perhaps
Or
if you
is
can
it
decipher the
just-
code.
Yeah, or is it just pieces?
It seems to be pieces.
Okay.
The translator might work because I think it's in a coded language. You need to decode it in order to kind of figure out what the message is.
That makes sense. So I will start to do that. That's strange. Because I can't
be
check the
data.
levels if I keep seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and try to do that. 15.
Nice. And you still hear this music, this melodic music that seems to set a familiar beat with you. And as you're going through this and you're decoding it, you're tapping the pads, and you hadn't even realized this, but we as the audience do. As you're tapping it, you're in perfect rhythmic beat of the music. And as it fades, the K appears again, disappears. And then a big word appears that just says hi.
Hi.
And that is where we'll leave it.
This is fine. I made a friend.
Hello, hi. Everything's fine, right?
Yes.
Data pads just talk to you.
It's fine. This is fine.
Secret mission with the crew. So, hopefully you all enjoyed that in chat and those watching as well. Hopefully the crew here enjoy it as we just do a little wind down, just talk amongst ourselves, kind of like what our high points were, what we enjoyed. Maybe we're kind of looking, since this is the first session, kind of like what we're looking to explore, kind of going forward. And I kind of have this as an open forum first, so everyone wants to kind of jump in and just say whatever you like, what you might be looking forward to, what you might be looking to explore, or just what a highlight was.
My highlight is watching Lens and Velvet both act out and voice their characters. The pantomime and stuff is really good, and the voices are on point.
I love Evasive so much.
I love that our trash fires have been burning in the same dumpster as it were for so long that like they know what everyone's role is.
Definitely. Oh god. Oh, hello. Oh, yes. Oh, I really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on and allow me to take everyone on this little fun adventure where everything gets fine and happiness happens. The cake is real.
Isn't real.
My highlight was just kind of seeing how everyone's kind of personalities unraveled, and just kind of seeing what their role was, but also just how their personal characters interact with the NPCs and how they're somehow in charge, but just somehow just like also like a trash fire. So I'm in charge, yay! Okay. Just like I create deadly toxins and release them because I'm bored, you know, the normal. So I think just seeing that and kind of see how they explore it and how they dive into the further story is going to be fun. What about Buns and Velvet? What were yours? Oh, we can't hear you, Buns.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Favorite moment. When I wasn't going like this at the camera.
Nice.
Which really was like the whole time. I think honestly though, I think my favorite part about the whole session this time around was watching everybody's interaction with things that didn't make sense. Like the door is opening, like all the little like small spook factors, and people just going, "Okay, now wait." The different levels of response that everyone had was really fun. I'm just like, that's not normal. To guys, we might have a problem. And the very short time span was very enjoyable for me.
Our spoop senses were tingling.
Our spoop senses were tingling.
I sense spoop.
I loved seeing Buns in charge.
Buns in charge. Buns in charge. Forever. Always. Always Buns in charge.
This is the new road.
Whoever said I was like Katra in chat, that made my whole day.
I was getting very Katra vibes.
Mm-hmm. Like Katra, She-Ra just didn't exist. This is what we would have.
I am proud to remain part of the horde.
Well, you would definitely be Scorpio.
Actually, love Scorpio.
To my Katra of just like, come on, like if Katra actually wasn't a cinnamon bun and was like a horse, like that's what they would be like.
Nice. No, it was really fun. What about you, cosmic voice of the show running? You have one?
Cosmic Stag.
The Cosmic Stag.
The Cosmic Stag.
Rules for a reason. There are rules for a reason. Wait,
This is fine.
My new character will look exactly like this character.
Nice. I'll once again thank you for having me, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it as well. Hopefully chat enjoyed it. And just to kind of round it all out, when we get some the final links in chat there for the Magehand Press and the Vaz 3D oh my god, I forget the name. My brain is crazy. But for sponsors, yes, those cool mugs. Look at that, beautiful,
Mythic
beautiful.
mugs.
Mythic mugs. Thank you. Because my brain somehow is mush. But yes, thank you for watching, and we will be back in 2 weeks, correct? This time, same outer space. Same outer space time. I don't know. Bye, everyone. Yes.
Do we wait until it's going up?